Hey everybody, it's Artrisa Lynn. Welcome to my channel. I usually create videos about mom life, style, and natural hair, but in today's video, I am taking you on my journey of planning our wedding. So I'm super excited. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for you too, because if you clicked on this video, that means you too are engaged, or your child is engaged, or your sister, best friend, cousin, whatever it is, you're interested in learning the steps to plan a wedding. So in this video, I am going to give you the top 7 things you should do first after you get engaged. Now this video is important because I know for myself, after I got engaged, I was like, great, now what? What do I do now? So I was calling or messaging friends that I know have been married and asking, okay, so what's the first thing you do? How do you determine your budget? When do you look for a venue? And then I turned to my good friend Google, and I was Googling and reading everything. So if you are like me, you're in the right place. I'm going to tell you the steps that I took. Still planning the wedding, but I have already knocked out these first 7 things. So here we go. Let's get to them. Number 1, enjoy this moment. If you just recently got engaged, I strongly recommend, not only do I recommend, but I read this like in almost every wedding planning app and almost every article I read, and it's true. I'm so happy that I did. Take time for you and your significant other, you and your fiance. Fiance, you got a whole fiance now. So just take a moment to enjoy the space that you're in. I know for me, like, you know, you're already in love, you know, obviously that's why you decided to, you know, get married, but it's just a different feeling after you have been asked, or after you ask someone. You're just a little bit more excited, you're a little bit more over the moon. So just go ahead and take that time, go out, have a nice dinner, maybe have an engagement party with family and friends. Just take time to yourself, or to yourselves. I, you know, read everywhere that you should take 3 months. Now some people like to dive right in, and if that's you, go for it. Maybe enjoy the moment for a few weeks and then get right into it. Also, if you're on a time deadline, you might want to get to it as well. I was thinking about taking, you know, the time that you hear is standard, which is, you know, a little over a year to a little over a year. So that's the path that I'm on. So I surely did. I took 3 months just to get used to saying fiance, enjoying it, enjoying that time with my man, taking all of the selfies. But yes, just enjoy your moment. So number 2, now that you've enjoyed the moment with your fiance, it's time to have a little chat. Because as you always hear, communication is key, and that is so correct. You want to make sure that you two are on the same page with what you want for your wedding. So maybe you want to find out if you want a big wedding, if you want something intimate. Do you want a destination wedding? Do you want to stay local? Do you want to go to your hometown? Where do you want to get married? There's so many things to discuss. Maybe get an idea if your fiance wants to be a part of the planning process. Maybe he doesn't want to be as into it as far as like color selection and going to venues. Maybe he just wants to be brought in at the final top 2 venues. So make sure you communicate, and at that time, this is moving on to step number 3, but it's still in this conversation of discussing, talking with your fiance. You want to set a budget, because your budget depends on just about everything that needs to be done, right? It determines how many people you want to invite. It determines which venue you're going to get married in. I feel like everything kind of almost goes back to the budget. Like, you probably don't want to buy your dress yet before you know how much you have to spend on the wedding. Also, if you're interested in hiring a wedding planner, well, first of all, is that in your budget? You don't know because you haven't set the budget. But if that is in your budget, when you interview or discuss, talk about things with your wedding planner or potential wedding planner, one of the first things they ask you is, what's your budget? Even sometimes before you even get on a call with them, they have a form on their website that they want you to fill out, and they are asking you your budget. So go ahead, and I know it's not always fun to talk about financials, but it's a need to have, and you need to have it early. So step number 3 is set a budget. And since you're already talking to your fiance, let's go ahead and get it on for number 4. It is set a date or season and year. If you have a date that is significant to you, maybe the day that you guys met, or you guys became officially a couple, whatever it is, you might want to talk about that if you want to get married on that date. Or maybe it's a particular season you guys are interested in. Do you want to get married before the year is over? Do you want to wait till next year? Make sure you guys are on that same path for planning. Also, I feel like budget plays a part in that. Maybe you need more time to save, so you want to extend the date out a little bit. So that is step number 4, to kind of decide a date. And if you don't have a specific date, that's okay, but you should know or talk about the season and the year that you want to get married. Also, that is, again, if you decide to go with a wedding planner, that is something that they will ask you. That's one of the first things they will ask you as well. They want to know budget, and they want to know when. Okay, I think we're on step 5. Step 5? Yes, step 5. So now let's have a little bit of fun. I'd say gather your inspiration. Maybe go on Instagram and, look up hashtags for weddings. Perhaps go on Google search. My favorite thing to do is Pinterest. I love Pinterest. So maybe create a Pinterest board. You can keep it secret if you're not ready for people to know like your ideas. You can change there's a little option in the settings of your boards to change it to visible to public or to all, or you can, I think they called it actually secret board. So you can change it there. You can also keep it secret, but if you want to share it with your mom or your bestie or whoever is helping you plan your wedding, you can share it with them. They can even add inspiration into that board, or you can set it to where you're the only person and they just can view it. But you definitely get started on inspiration. You can grab bridal magazines to see what they have. I know I got a few bridal magazines, but my favorite for getting inspiration so far has been Pinterest, and also on Instagram, following people who may be getting married soon and, just getting ideas, or perhaps someone that you're following on Instagram is attending a wedding and maybe they're showing the wedding decor. You can get inspiration from there as well. Just remember, on Instagram, you can also save boards too. I don't know if they call them boards. What do they call them? Don't know what they call them, but you can save on Instagram as well. And that's also another thing too. If you hire a planner, they are going to ask you, do you have an idea? What's your vision for the wedding? I know when I interviewed with my first planner, I was told that question and I was like, that's a good question. What is my vision for this wedding? So go ahead and look up inspiration. You don't have to have anything set in stone. You don't have to come with your colors, but just an idea of maybe what you like, what you don't really like, what you're kind of going for, what you're feeling. Also, that's going to play a part in when you look for venues, because there's no need in going for somewhere outdoorsy, country club vibe when you want something glam in a ballroom. So go ahead and gather your inspiration. Okay, so number 6, this is a time where you would hire a wedding planner, or if you're not gonna hire a wedding planner, I recommend buying a wedding binder. It's essentially a wedding planner, but it's DIY, you do it all yourself. I got this wedding planner at Barnes & Noble. I was super excited. I wasn't sure if I wanted to hire a wedding planner or not. So I just went with my mom and we picked this one up. This one's really good. I'll see if I can link it in the description box below, because I really like this. I feel like it's super thorough and it has a little checklist. Let me look through it really quick. Yeah, so it has a to-do list calendar. And then it has individual tabs that go through things that you would need to know or to help you. It has budget, it has guest list, venue, inspiration, guest correspondence, vendors, seating assignments, ceremony, reception, attire, timeline, gift registry, contracts, resources. I do remember now going through this, and they have sections in there that I thought was nice, especially if this is your first time planning a wedding, or the person who's helping you, like a best friend or mom, hasn't planned a wedding yet. Then they have sections in there that kind of guide you, like questions you should ask when you're looking at a venue, questions you should ask about the ceremony, questions you should ask a caterer. So it guides you. It's really helpful if you're going to do it yourself. Highly recommend this planner. Like I said, I'll find it and link it in the description box below. Myself, I did decide to go with the planner. And so step 6 would be buy a planner or research a planner. So how I found my wedding planner is through Instagram hashtags. I knew that for me, it was important that my wedding planner kind of understood the vibe of social media and capturing moments that are Instagrammable, because, you know, that's what I do. So I wanted to see what their Instagram was like. So I literally just looked for, I want to say, Los Angeles wedding planner, or Los Angeles wedding coordinator, LA wedding planner, because that's my area. So you would just type in your city and followed by wedding planner or wedding coordinator and see what comes up. Also still recommend that you do a Google search and see what comes up there, read reviews. A lot of wedding planners, like, you can like look through their comments. If they have an Instagram account, you can look through their comments, maybe look through their highlights and see what people are saying about them. Again, Google reviews is also helpful. But once you start that search, you want to start interviewing them, because, you know, obviously, even if they have a good Instagram account or a good website, you still want to talk to them and see if you're a good fit for them, or if they're a good fit for you. It's mutual, actually. They want to know that you're someone they want to work with for this is a long, you know, time. And you also want to know if you want to work with them. So set up interviews would be the next step, and then eventually you will go ahead and find the perfect match, and you hire your wedding planner. So we are to our last and final step for things you should do after you get engaged, part 1, because there will be a part 2 and possibly a part 3. I'm taking you with me throughout this whole process, and if you just got engaged, come along, or if you're just interested, still come along. So yes, step number 7 is search for venues. So like I said, if you're doing this on your own, you just want to look for venues in your area. My mom, actually, before we decided to hire a planner, she loves doing events, so she started looking for events, and she knew of a couple already, because she does events for her job. So she sent them to me, and I would look and say, no, this isn't my vibe. Yes, this is. So if you have a friend, maybe you have in mind who your maid of honor is going to be already, maybe you can get them to help you look for venues, or you can look for it yourself. If you have a wedding planner, they usually will provide, or they should provide, a list for you. And you can go through that list and see the venues, and then you guys will schedule tours together. If you're not doing a wedding planner, you would, you know, email the contact person at the space. Yourself or your best friend could help you, your maid of honor can help you, and you would set up a tour, and you would go see a few. I mean, I recommend I myself have already visited one pre-hiring my wedding planner, and I like the space. I really like it. But to me, it's like, how do you know? You've just seen one. I didn't walk in and was like, oh, this is it. I want to see more. So I would recommend seeing at least 3. And yes, so that last step is to research venues and book the venue. And once you book the venue, guess what? You now have your wedding date. Congratulations. You're one step closer to getting married. All right, well, that's also just FYI, that's the step that I am on currently. I am looking for venues, so stay tuned, and like I said, taking you along with me on this process. So let me know, what did you think of this video? Would you like to see more? Do you have any other questions? Let me know where you are in your journey, if you are planning a wedding or helping someone plan a wedding. Leave it in the comments below. If you also want to see, I'm doing Wedding Wednesdays on Instagram. Follow me at @ArtresaLynn, and I just look forward to sharing more with you guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.